On the day of my wife's sister's wedding, the gate was dressed in silk ribbons, white and gold, shimmering under the late afternoon sun. Laughter spilled from inside like a song meant for everyone but me. And then, there it was, a photograph, my photograph, pinned crookedly to a wooden board beneath the fluttering fabric. My own face, black and white, grainy, circled in red ink. Below it, a cardboard sign scrawled in thick black marker, "Do not let the poor in-law in." For a moment, the world narrowed into silence. The drums, the chatter, the music, it all fell away. Only the paper breathed, tugged gently by the wind, mocking me with its presence. I stood there, staring at my own face as if it belonged to someone else, as if I were already a ghost, unwanted, erased before even entering. My hand twitched toward the sign. I could have torn it down. I could have stormed through the gate. I could have demanded, why? Instead, I turned and walked away. Not a word, not a sound. Only the echo of my own footsteps as the celebration roared behind me. 4 hours later, when she realized what my absence meant, her wedding had already ended, and I was home, in silence. The betrayal hadn't started at the gate. That was only the final cut. It had been months. Little things. Slips in her words, her phone tilted away when I entered the room, sudden laughter that stopped too quickly. I told myself I was imagining it, that paranoia was eating me alive. But then there were whispers, a cousin's careless remark, a neighbor's sideways glance, a pattern I could no longer ignore. I began to notice the distance in her eyes, the way she looked through me instead of at me, and then her sister's wedding. The perfect stage. She had insisted I come late, claimed she'd already be busy helping with the preparations. I agreed, not questioning, not until I stood at that gate and saw myself branded as an intruder. The message was clear. I wasn't family. I was never meant to be. I was the stain she wanted hidden from the photographs. But weddings have a way of trapping secrets, and I had already begun to follow the threads. I didn't confront her, not yet. Instead, I collected pieces, quietly, methodically. Her phone, once left unlocked, revealed fragments, messages with her sister, my sister-in-law, coded words that didn't need decoding. They spoke not only of dresses and venues, but of shame, of embarrassment, of me. They laughed at the way I dressed, at the job I lost months ago, at the poor in-law who was dragging their family name into the dirt. But there was more. One thread led to another, a photograph of her, not mine, tucked into the corner of a message. Not a wedding dress fitting, not casual, too intimate. I copied it, saved it, locked it away. Then came the phone records, long calls, always at night. Not with me, always when I slept, always to the same number. And the number belonged not to a stranger. It belonged to the groom, her sister's groom. My silence hardened into something else. Not despair, not rage, but calculation. I watched. I listened. I pieced together the truth with the patience of a surgeon holding a scalpel inches from a heart. And when the wedding arrived, I didn't go unprepared. When I walked away from the gate, I wasn't walking in defeat. I already knew. The evidence sat folded neatly in my pocket. Photographs, call logs, copies of messages. Proof that while she mocked me as the poor in-law, she had been sleeping with her sister's future husband. That was why she didn't want me inside. Not because of shame, but because of fear. Fear that I would speak. Fear that I would ruin the facade before the vows were spoken. And that was exactly what I intended to do. But not with noise, not with chaos, with silence. I returned home. I waited. The city burned bright with wedding fireworks while I sat in the dark, The evidence spread before me like a quiet arsenal. By the time she realized I wasn't at the ceremony, it was too late. The knock on the door came just after midnight. Her voice trembled on the other side. "Why didn't you come? Why did you leave?" I opened the door. Slowly, calmly. My face gave nothing away. I handed her an envelope. Thick, heavy. Her hands shook as she opened it. Photographs spilled out. Screenshots, call records. The entire skeleton of her betrayal laid bare on cheap white paper. Her lips parted. A stammer. A gasp. How? How did you—" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The silence pressed harder than any scream could. She fell to her knees, clutching the papers, her wedding jewelry still glinting against the skin that had already betrayed me. And I stood above her, detached, cold, as her carefully built world fractured under the weight of her own secrets. I didn't stay to watch her cry. I turned away, walked into the other room, and closed the door behind me. No anger remained, no grief, only clarity. The wedding had ended long before the vows. She had destroyed it with her own hands, and all I had done was hold up the mirror. There was nothing left to fix, nothing left to fight for. She wanted me erased, branded as the poor-in-law. And in the end, I gave her exactly what she wanted. I erased myself. The only difference was, this time, she was the one left outside the gate.